Hey, in this tutorial I'm going to continue looking at the features on DMGAudio's Limitless, this time focusing on the band controls. In combination with the dual limiter functionality that we looked at last time, the multi-band nature of the plugin helps ensure maximum transparency by rectifying issues that occur when limiting all of the signal's frequencies as one, where louder frequencies, such as the bass, can drag down all the others. So with Limitless, what we get is a 6-band linear phase crossover EQ. And when the plugin is limiting a signal, you can see what it's doing to each of the bands on the EQ graph. Let's start by looking at the controls in the advanced section that we didn't look at in the last tutorial. So first, we have slope here, which sets the slope of the crossovers in dB per octave. The default is 24, which is a standard Link-Fitz-Riley 4th order crossover, with linear phase that is. But you can increase or decrease this to change the overlap. I'm just going to change the range of the graph to 12 dB in the setup menu, so it's easier to see what's going on. I've kept the gain reduction amount quite large in this example. So the slope parameter goes all the way up to 96 dB if you want to try very short crossovers. And to extend this even more, there's a separation parameter too. This determines the degree of independence between each of these bands with regards to gain reduction. At 100%, all the bands are working independently, so Limitless is in essence a multi-band dynamic EQ. However, if the amount is lowered, the gain reduction is distributed in increasing amounts across all bands, so the multi-band effect is faded out. It's even easier to see this if I choose part of the track where there's a dominant frequency band, like this earlier part of the breakdown. So now, at 100%, this middle band is reducing more than the others. But if I bring the percentage down, then when we reach 0%, all bands are reducing as one. And it's also possible to go higher if you want to even out the frequencies in your mix and have this middle band decreasing even more, and of course the other bands less. So there's a lot of options for how you want the bands to behave. And another option in the advanced controls section is weighting, which allows you to tell the software to prefer gain reduction of lower or higher frequency bands. At 100%, the gain reduction of lower bands is higher, which is generally what you'll want. Whereas minus 100% encourages more high frequency reduction. And this goes all the way from minus 400 up to 400, so you can set this more extremely if needs be. As on other DMGAudio EQ plugs, the graph allows you to edit bands. For instance, double-clicking a band removes it, so you can bring down the number of crossover bands. And you can also drag the bands around, with respect to the curve on the analyzer, so you can match bands to the frequencies in your mix, to help achieve the right sound. Another useful part of the GUI when editing bands is the band strip section, which you can show using the option in Instance Prefs in the setup window, which then gives you a fader bank for all bands. These can help you see exactly what's going on with each band, and also allow you to adjust the gain of bands, which is pre-limiting, as well as mute and solo bands to hear how they sound. And each band has its own release time when in manual mode, if you want to make the gain reduction more or less aggressive on a band. And if you copy a style to manual mode, you can see how the times change for an example of how you might like to set them. And all these times are relative to the release that you set in the master controls section, as you can see. So hopefully this has given you some useful insight into the way Limitless handles the frequency bands of the signal it's limiting, and the various options for how you can customize them. See you next time.